The Rainbow Party on the Copperbelt province has called on the UPND government to be honest and tell Zambian people the conditions attached to the $1.4 billion International Monetary Fund IMF loan package. The party says that Zambians have the right to know the attached loan conditions. The opposition party suspects that a wage and employment freeze could be part of the conditions given to the government. Meanwhile, the party has accused the UPND government of scheming to privatize parastatal companies. Rainbow Party says it is concerned because Zambians still have fresh memories of how IMF loan conditions made the Zambian people suffer during the MMD regime, while the country lost a number of companies because of privatization, which led to the collapse of the manufacturing base, leading to job losses, and how others died without getting their benefits. This is contained in a statement issued by Rainbow Party Copperbelt Provincial Chairperson few days in Nsema. Meanwhile, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Stembeko Msokotwane, has clarified that the IMF loan does not contain any employment or wage freeze, as alleged by some leaders. Dr. Msokotwane says the loan being acquired by his government has been well thought of to the benefit of the Zambian people. Meanwhile, the minister has maintained that government will ensure that Indeni refinery workers' employment is secured. He was speaking during the IMF GRZ Forum at Mulungushi Conference Center in Lusaka.
From creditors and other that the authorities' reform program will continue to be financed on an ongoing basis going forward. So I hope that helps clarify a little on that front. But yes, but before we, just to be clear, before we can actually move forward and take that first decision on moving forward with a program and making that first disbursement under the ECF, we will need creditors to come forward and provide adequate financing assurances of their willingness to support the program through providing sufficient debt relief to enable us to determine that debt would be sustainable going forward. Thank you.
Questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. There was a question as to when you are going to have a homegrown financial solution to your problems. I think what I would say is that in this modern world, we are all integrated. Money flows from one country to the other. And if we have to go out and get some financing from another country or from an institution out of the country, it does not necessarily mean that that is a bad thing, okay? It doesn't mean that. It becomes bad when you overdo it, as what has happened in the last 10 years, leading to a situation whereby, as you can see, the exchange rate, which used to be less than 5 to the dollar, now is 18. Failure to hire teachers, failure to pay pensioners. That was all caused by the issue of overborrowing. So today that we have a problem on our hands, there is no problem whatsoever in reaching out of the country, in addition to using domestic financing to be able to help solve this problem. The only thing, because some of you will now be saying, you say you were borrowed, but now the IMF are going to give you, you seek to get financing from the IMF. Aren't you doing the same thing? No, it is different. And this is so because part of why we are where we are today is because most of these loans were borrowed more or less at the same time, 1 or 2 years plus minus. So when these debts matured, when it was time to pay, they all came more or less at the same time. You can't pay.
Rainbow Party Secretary General Winter Kabimba has maintained that outspoken Patriotic Front member Chishimba Kambwili, Geoffrey Bwalya Mwamba, and Bizwa Mutale do not qualify to stand as PF presidents. Speaking when featured on MUVI TV's The Assignment program on a Sunday evening, Mr. Kabimba says the trio does not qualify because it holds no leadership position at any branch level.